this is the thing that I love the most about real estate is I don't care how bad it is. It averages 10% over a long period of time. It is
Right.
always going to make you money. You just
Right.
got to sit on the roller coaster because now it's going down and it's going to be a ride. But as soon as it's going down, it's exciting because you can look forward and go, but it's got to come back up because
Yeah.
we're going to go
Yeah.
back down again.
Welcome, everyone. This is Andrea Gordon, your host on Realizations, the podcast about everything to do with real estate. Today, I'm really fortunate to have Dru Wischhover with me today from Inspired Title Group Incorporated. Welcome, Dru. We're going to talk a little bit about title and a lot about other parts of why real estate is important, what issues that they come up with, what have you. The whole reason behind my podcast, Dru, is I started out when the NAR and DOJ lawsuits were occurring and the commission lawsuits, because I felt like there was this incredible disrespect of our profession.
Yeah.
And I thought I'll be mad for years or else I can do something
Yeah.
positive. And so I decided to create a podcast where I'm educating the American people about all the various aspects of real estate and how real estate comes into play in so many ways. I love the title of your title company, Inspired Title Group. So tell me a little bit about that. How did you end up with that name?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me come out here today to share a little bit about myself and the company and things. So, my story is one that is kind of family connected. Why I say that is my dad was a real estate attorney for 40 years, just retired a little over a year and a half ago. And he also owned a title company. And I never was in this space. I am actually I was in the financial space. I worked helping people set up broker dealers and arbitrating against the SEC for, the broker dealers that we helped establish. So I had a finance degree and finance background and et cetera. And around that 2004, 2005 timing was I noticed, that the market was really kind of going through what we saw this to be this change, at least in the financial space. And my dad's partner had just been diagnosed with cancer and he
Oh,
was going to be having to take some time away. And I kind of did some forward thinking and saw that looks like that things are going to kind of go sideways. So I mentioned this to my partner. I'm like, I'm going to step out of this and kind of give my dad a hand in the real estate space and see how that goes while this kind of corrects itself. And let's see what happens here. So I got into this and I realized that, wow, this is not fast paced. This is not the financial market and the financial world. And it's not sexy. It's part of a transaction, right? People just kind of go, oh, well, it's just part of what we need. And it's part of the deal. So I needed to bring it to something that I can enjoy and something that I can relate to. So I got out from underneath my dad's ownership and started Inspired Title because it kind of speaks about me and my vision of what we want to do is inspiring people and making it fun and trying to create a little bit more recognition around it. And because I got the question all the time was, how are you different than Fidelity? How are you different than First American? And I
that was
needed
my
to,
next question.
yeah, I needed to find that answer. So being asked that as a sales guy for so long, I said, all right, I didn't have that answer. I was just kind of stumbling over that. So my differentiator became when I said, we're going to donate a portion of our proceeds to help the community and giving back. And that was my differentiator. And I said, every closing that we do, we donate a portion of what we earn to a not for profit or to, different things that mean something to us. So that was, 7 years ago now. And I am hopefully in 2006, beginning of going to be starting our not for profit, which is going to be Heroes Helping Heroes Chicago. And that's what Inspired Title is going to be donating the proceeds to is to my not for profit. So we can, make a difference in the community. And so it's about using something that people don't know much about to do better things and great things with it. And it's just fueled me and I enjoy it. I opened up a development company because there was a lot of synergies there as well, because that at that time there was a lot of rehab going on and people were doing these short sales and these flips and everything. And my background was in construction for many years prior. And I really, that's a job that you can walk away from and see what you did. You can,
Mhm.
whereas you walk away
Right.
from the title company, you go, I have no idea what I did today. There's nothing visual that I saw,
Right,
but
right, right, right.
the construction was noticeable. So there were a lot of synergies, and so I own Inspired Development and Inspired Title Group.
Aha. Aha.
Uh-huh.
So
See?
the choice of the charity that you made,
Mm.
what tell me a little bit more about that charity and
Yeah, of
that
course.
why it was that attracted you.
Of course, not being a veteran or a hero per se, myself, it was, what I saw myself getting into from starting to do these charitable events. There were just so many areas that were touching and speaking to us. And my daughter is a therapist, and she went and has a career in therapy. And I have her leading our philanthropy push right now, and she's the president of the not for profit. But I found that the mental health space is what really spoke to me. And it was through her being a little girl growing up and watching her dream come true as wanting to be a therapist and working with her on some different events and things. I said, "This is where I wanna be." So we do, a mental health panel 3 times a year where we're trying to break the, silence about mental health and what it
Mm.
looks like in the workplace. And, not just for execs or entrepreneurs, for anybody who is, working, you don't know if your, person that is you're sharing your cube with maybe struggling with something. How do you communicate? What are some of the warning signs? And try to let people know that it's a big thing, and it needs to be talked about. As a business owner, it's something that we're confronted with when people are saying that they want to take a mental health day. What does that mean? We didn't know what that wasn't something that we grew up with in our generation. So,
Mhm.
um, it's really just trying to get it out there, and I really wanted to find a way to feed that opportunity to get that message out there more and help us do different things. We do golf events. I do a big golf outing every year. We do some, 5Ks, and yeah, we do a lot of, last year we donated over $75,000
Brilliant.
to different stuff. And I'm like, this is something that the busier we are, the more we're able to help people. So now when I'm soliciting business, it's a lot different, Andrea. We talk about, come on, I don't want all your business. Just give us a shot. And let me show you why working with a more smaller and boutique title company makes a difference, because you're not a file number. You're a person,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
And
Right.
we treat you as a person, not as a file number. And we want to get to know you, and we want to build a rapport. And I respect people who have longstanding relationships with title folks and title companies. I'm just looking for a little opportunity because we're gonna actually put it to use to help fuel some missions that we have and that we're doing. My goal here in the next 2 years is to do a Habitat for Humanities that I entirely fund,
That's brilliant
through
and
our
wonderful.
charity.
I
Yeah.
love this. I love hearing this. One of the things that people don't recognize is that all aspects of real estate, people that work in real estate are very heavily engaged in their communities, doing all kinds of things, whether it's sponsoring a little league or, in my case, I'm very, very proud of the work that I do with Berkeley Humane Society. I work with them. I feed all of the animals in their shelter 5 months out of the year.
Nice.
And I also am very proud. 3 years ago now, I raised $450,000 for them.
Oh my gosh, that's outstanding.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of amazing. And it's one of my proudest achievements. And
Yes.
the thing is that you scratch a realtor, you find somebody who cares about people.
Yeah.
And you scratch a title person, same thing. I mean, we
Right.
all go into this because it's serving humans.
Yeah.
And so, I when I hear about this, my heart just stings. I have to say that to you. Now, Inspired Title Group, you guys are in every state. Or do you work in California as well?
Yeah, so our home is Illinois. So we're
Mhm.
licensed in Illinois and Indiana, but we're able to do deals across the nation because we utilize the support of our underwriters, the big names, and we have like a work share program where we still are the face to our client, and we're still actually working with our client. And then we have a nice partner that is licensed across the US that we've developed a tremendous rapport with, that does these. I mean, we've got a deal in Alabama, we got one in Georgia. Yes, we do stuff across the states because it's something that is, I found that there's a need. I mean, we have a lot of lender clients, and they don't just lend in, the Midwest, they lend across the nation. Okay, fine. What does that mean? I needed to kind of explore and expand and look into what that took. So even though we're small, we've got a larger footprint because I don't look at it as business, Andrea. I really look at it as an opportunity to do more good things for people, as you mentioned. I
Right.
mean, it's just
Right.
the more people I can touch. I mean, I challenge the team every day. Like, how are you going to make a difference in somebody's life today? That's
That's
that's our
beautiful.
daily goal. And
That's beautiful.
I want to talk. I want to hear that story because now you can leave and go home and say, "Wow, I really did something today. I made somebody happy." I mean, it's hard enough in this world that we live in, and accomplishing America's dream is such a huge undertaking and a wonderful reward. Why not celebrate that with the people that we're working together with, whether they be the professionals or they be the actual, buyers and sellers?
That's great. That is absolutely beautiful. Now, what are some of the issues that you have been seeing on a frequent basis that come up in title for you?
Yeah, I right now we're obviously protecting ourselves from fraud and
Mhm.
the so many different avenues and areas that we can get attacked from that. But as far as just purely on title, what we're seeing, there's a lot of I think when the market was correcting in that 5, 6, 7 time, I think it was the wild, wild west. I think there was so many things that were just done and they weren't they weren't done correctly. There's a lot of indexing that has been not done correctly. There's unrecorded releases that are,
Oh,
everywhere. There's so many mortgages that are just outstanding that I'm sure they've been released, but nobody recorded them because they saved the fees because of the greed. Everybody lives by the greed factor, right? But
mhm.
yet, we're the guys that have to sit back and clean this stuff up. And
Right.
so we're seeing a lot of the issues from that era really come back to haunting us, and we're spending extra time. I mean, when my title examiner comes to me and she's the director of operations here too, she's like, "Drew," she goes, "I have a straight deal here." She goes, "Something's wrong." I go, "You're right." That's it, because it's just not normal. Like even
Yeah.
refinances, even
No,
the
I
refinances have ugly on them.
yeah, I was laughing because I have a client, or she's not a client anymore, but I had a client in Alameda where we
Mhm,
attempted initially to short sell her house back in the 2008 nightmare.
mhm.
And her loan got sold so many times that no one has ever claimed ownership of her loan.
Ugh.
She has not paid anything
Oh no.
except for property taxes since 2008. And I
Oh
don't
my goodness.
she'll never move because why would
Right,
she?
right.
But basically, no one has her loan.
Wow. That's a good point because the fact that the banks have consolidated so much and,
Mm,
you know, what used to be some of the smaller local banks don't necessarily exist anymore. The B of A's and, Wells Fargo, they've kinda assumed a lot of these things and kinda taken over the marketplace. But yes, it's tracking that loan down through the assignment process. You're right. If
no,
if it's
she's
it's
I
impossible.
she called me up and I was like, "Well, if no one's asking you to pay them, just don't."
Yeah.
And, somebody might figure it out someday and you could be in a world of trouble, so you'll have to figure that out. But
Right.
in the
Right.
meantime, the property
Yeah.
value has shot up by it's more than doubled and, she could probably fix it if it
Sure.
did come to her, and it
Sure.
wouldn't really be her fault because it started
Yeah.
out Washington Mutual and
Oh,
went from there.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And that was I mean, obviously, that was a big one back then. Washington Mutual was a big lender,
Mhm.
and, people made lots and lots of money, and then I value that by looking at people kinda going, "Wow, those are industry people who are no longer in the industry." Because they lived on the greed end. I mean, if you spent all that money you made in that era, that enough that you couldn't sustain the market sway, then I don't know. Yeah, you're probably not in the market to be in business because
Mhm.
the ebbs and flows of what real estate does. This is the thing that I love the most about real estate is I don't care how bad it is. It averages 10% over a long period of time. It is
Right.
always going to make you money. You just
Right.
got to sit on the roller coaster because now it's going down and it's going to be a ride. But as soon as it's going down, it's exciting because you can look forward and go, but it's got to come back up because
Yeah.
just we're going to go
No,
back down again.
the chain of value is like this.
Yes.
And that's what people don't get. They think it's like this, but it's not.
No, no,
When
it's
I
sharp.
when I was a little kid, we sold my family home for $67,000 and moved to
Okay.
New York City. And I remember a lady coming up to my mother at our going away party going, "Oh my Lord, you did so well. No one will ever see these prices again. This is incredible." My
Mhm.
childhood home changed hands 5 years ago, which gives you an idea
Okay.
of how long ago this was,
Okay.
for $3.2 million.
That $67,000 home is now 3.2 million. I know. It's
Yeah.
insane, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it also talks a lot about inflation and
Oh, yeah.
that stuff
Yeah.
too.
But we
Uh,
also lived in the 20% interest rates,
yeah.
18% interest rates. And, these kids today are sitting back at, 5 and 6 and they're going,
And
these are
and
really
they're
high.
miserable about it. They're
Yeah.
terribly miserable about it. And
Boy, you don't know what high is. Like, I mean, you do, but it's a different reason you know what high is because
right.
it's not the reason we know what high is.
Oh my goodness. Well, if my audience wants to find you and wants to utilize your services, Drew, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be wonderful. You can find me. I'm on LinkedIn. It's DRU, and my last name is Wishover, not pronounced like it sounds. It's Wischhover. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can connect, you can call us. You can connect through our website, which is inspired-title.com. We got a website that tells you all about our give back program and kind of, tells you we're on all the socials because, I want people to know who we are, and we're probably the only title company that does social media because we're out there having fun, we're laughing, we're doing things that I want people to recognize that you're not buying the people, you're buying the people, not the company,
Yeah,
and we're the people that you want to buy because we're just friendly people that just get after it.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on my podcast today. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And there were a lot of wonderful nuggets in there for everyone to listen to.
Oh, I appreciate
Um,
it.
I love what you're doing. It means a lot to me. So thank you. Thank you for
Well,
being you and happy holidays.
yep. Happy holidays to you. Thank you so much for having me. Thanks you
All
so
right.
much. But take care.
If you loved hearing from these incredible voices shaping real estate, you'll want to catch what's next. Click the video on screen to keep discovering more inspiring stories.